Welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race Recap for Season 8, Episode 3, titled RuCo's Empire. My name is Joe Batant, and I'm joined, as always, by two fantastic co-hosts from the podcast Pod is My Co-Pilot. Get ready for the comedic stylings of one Taylor T. Latte Boy.
Is it T? Taylor?
No,
it's Taylor T. Latte Boy, right?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I can't read.
2. She said cuckoo 2 times. Okay, there. That's out of the way.
Wait, are you counting Untucked?
No, yes, counting Untucked. She said cuckoo 2 times.
Oh, really? That's really shocking.
Yes.
And from the podcast Dubious Intent, shake your cuckoo at Daniel J. Brewer.
Yeah. Hello, gentlemen. How are you this evening?
I'm good. You know, while the theme song was playing, you guys should be so excited that my camera's broken. There's like a sesame seed stuck in like that pocket between my upper lip and my gums. And I was using my pinky finger to try and get that sesame seed out.
No,
I have
Taylor
never been more erect in my entire life than I am right now hearing that story.
Taylor and I were...
By the way, I haven't even had sesame seeds today. I don't even know where it came from.
It's like last week or something. Yeah, Taylor and I were both lip syncing because I was watching his camera, so I could see him lip syncing along with me there.
You can't not lip sync to that song.
I know, you can.
Which, by the way, I'm getting ready to go on a road trip for a co-host of my other show's wedding. Mm-hmm. And I added some RuPaul in there, and I added the theme to Drag Race from I think the Champion album. It's a horrible version of the song.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's god-awful.
Yeah, I was all excited. We were driving around the other day, and I listened to it. I thought, oh, this is cool. And Babalu like kind of giggled when he saw the thing come up on the screen on my. And then he was just like, "Can we turn this off?" I'm like, "Yes, we can turn this off. This isn't good at all."
Excellent, Joe Batance, take us away.
All right, here we go. This week, RuPaul brings back Nasia Lopez in the most anticlimactic return in the history of RuPaul. The queens bring their best Sotomayor realness in a courtroom drag mini challenge, put their best cookie forward in an Empire parody acting challenge, and then strut their stuff down the runway in roller skating couture. Bob the drag queen slayed all the other queens and was named the winner, while Cynthia Lee Fontaine went cuckoo to cuckoo with Robbie Turner in the lip sync challenge. In the end, Ru said toodaloo to Cynthia's cuckoo. Ladies, any initial thoughts on the episode?
I can't believe that you read that entire thing without tripping up, but you couldn't even get through the fucking intro of the show.
I didn't have a sesame seed in my upper lip.
I'm like sitting there going, he's got couture written down there. He's going to trip on that. He's going to trip on, you didn't. Everything. Here's my thoughts. I agree that it is the most anticlimactic thing because, like any good big budget show, we had our graphics department make the whole, who will return graphic and everything. It's like, look, we had a whole bit going. It was like, who will return this week on RuPaul's Drag Race? Find out Monday night at 8 on Logo. You say we had like a whole thing there. We had whatever. And no, it's just fucking Nisha. It's just like, whatever. So,
but I would like to state for the record that I was the only one of the three of us that said that was the one that was going to come back.
You were. Congratulations, Taylor.
I know, sort of like an Occam's razor kind of thing.
But here's the thing. You know what? It actually, at first, I was like, with the rest of the people watching, I was kind of groaning about it. But then afterwards, I was like, you know what? That actually makes me feel better because all right, so it's a TV show. And TV shows do all this stuff that's fake, right? Like people open the door and it's like, oh my God, it's the designer here to do our house. We didn't know you were coming. It's like all this fake stuff that's staged and whatever. So like the double elimination episode seems less fake to me now.
Yeah.
Because they basically had someone already in sequester and they're like, oh no, these bitches suck so bad. Just get rid of both of them. And I agree with you. We've got one shoved in a hotel. Let's just bring her back. It's just
I agree with you. Because, one of the things we forget is they can stop for a long time. I'm sure there was a big producer meeting and Ru was like, fuck this shit. Mm-hmm. She's like, they're both going, what are we going to do? Let's write something really fast. Okay, Michelle's going to hand you a phone. You're going to do this and do this and this and this because...
Right.
It was probably like we need to. Yeah,
they could redo the judges' table. All they have to do is just redress Ru and Michelle. Basically, it's like that's all they had to do that. It's just redress Ru and Michelle, and then because the close up of them on the phone only had the elbows of the other two people, so it could have been other people's elbows on the table. Even.
But they wouldn't even. They could like again. Having been actual at RuPaul finale tapings, they take long time between takes. Yeah. Really long stretches of time. So there could be a really long stretch of time between the lip sync and the actual decision.
Yeah, well,
And also-
if you
go
think
ahead.
about it, when we're looking at the judges, right? Logically, we know that there are cameras pointed at the judges, like doing that. Yet when we see them walking on the stage, the contestants walking on the stage, we don't see cameras there pointing back at the judges. So there's a lot of different, and we've heard this from the queens from seasons past, right? They reset cameras and they move them around, and they have to reset the lighting so that like when they're doing the runway piece of it, they have different cameras where the judges' tables is.
Yeah.
So it's that you can't see when you point back at the judges' table. So
Well, they even tell you that the whole runway critique decision lip sync that takes like 4 or 5 hours.
yeah, and all the
They're there,
all the
like,
comments
all
that
day.
they make, all the comments that the judges make are all like done after. It's like basically they, it's like they're not making those quips in real time. So
No.
there you go.
Any other initial thoughts on the episode?
I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, for various reasons, which we'll get into. But I thought it was, of the 3 episodes so far, it was probably my favorite episode.
Oh, really? It felt like a throwaway episode to me.
No.
I didn't hate it, but
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I still, like last week's group number, I still go back and watch that. I for some reason, I just really like that tune. I just really like that whole group number, the acapella one that they did. But yeah, no, I thought it was an okay episode. I didn't think it was the greatest, but I thought it was all right.
It showed, it kind of proved a point that I think the 3 of us have been saying. That wasn't me.
There are cell phones going off in Taylor's house that are not his.
That was my phone. It's because Taffy's not a part of the show. Now she's deciding she's going to Snapchat me 4 million times.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to shut off my phone right now.
Taffy is Taylor's co-host on his other podcast.
It was also his stripper name in the 80s. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together for Taffy.
That's why I gave her that name. I am Taffy's drag mother. Yes, it can finally be said after all of these years. What I was saying was, it kind of proves what we've been saying all along, that this cast is so much better than season 7's.
Yeah.
It's so much more of a stronger cast that it's more enjoyable to watch. Even this early on, where we know there are some people that are throwaways. We all said early on Cynthia was not going to be around for very long. I think that this is a situation where it kind of is proving itself to be a very strong, fun cast to watch.
I agree.
I was actually thinking while watching the episode that, I read Reddit, so I kind of already know who's going home next based on little theories. Mm-hmm. And after I was like, oh, well, it's going to be really strong after next week. Hint.
I agree. No, we can talk about that after in our speculation at the end of the show.
All right, here we go. In the workroom after the elimination, the girls speculate, speaking of speculation, about which queen might return to the competition.
One queen who needs to be redeemed more than any queen on Drag Race is Victoria Porkchop Parker.
Question is, when Shangela returns, what are we going to do? I think we should all agree that whoever the girl that comes in, we just ignore her and treat her like poo.
In other words, like you treat everyone.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That was Acid Betty speaking, for those of you not knowing. The next day after the mini challenge, RuBot brought back the returning queen.
Ladies, last week's double elimination left a void that I've decided to fill with the one and only
Bitches,
Naysha Lopez.
Oh my God, it's Naysha! She's back on the competition.
Naysha should have walked in with her luggage and just kept on walking. Bye, girl.
Naysha, you're getting a second chance, so don't fuck it up.
You know what's so funny is, Cynthia Lee Fontaine was so excited to see Naysha. Naysha showed no emotion this week when Cynthia Lee Fontaine went home. There was no teardrop. There was no like, oh, my poor Cynthia. She was like, yeah, right, whatever.
I think it was really, really weird because in Untucked, I realized that, that's right, Naysha is a Chicago queen because she and Kim Chi know the same people because they were talking about.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, she was talking about Raul that made the. Kim Chi was talking
right.
about.
Yeah.
And Naysha knew who it was and was like, oh, that's right, Naysha is a Chicago queen. So it's like Cynthia Lee was reaching out to her like, oh, you're from Puerto Rico, and he's like, girl, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
I will say this episode, I think the best thing that could have happened to Naysha Lopez was that she was the first one to go home and came back, because it may have brought her down a little bit. Because I actually I didn't like her, but I didn't hate her, and I think she's cute as a boy. That she is now the new Layla McQueen for me.
That's right. Here, hey, Taylor, I'll make her more attractive to you. According to Thor G. Thor's Monday night hosting in Brooklyn, Nisha has the biggest dick of all of them.
Oh, I thought she was saying Naomi.
Oh, I thought she said oh, wait, maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it was Naomi.
I think it's Naomi, because I was like, ooh, my girlfriend has the biggest dick.
I'm going right now.
Well, but Nisha has something that I hadn't seen before, and she's got them big, thick thighs and that nice, juicy butt. So that was very much okay.
Taylor the Latte Boy, a man after, you can take, I can't think of it. You can take the something out of the man, but you can't take the man out of the something. That's hey, trademark Joe Batanz. You're going to put that on bumper stickers. But man.
Yeah, but it was, hopefully she kind of redeems herself. As much as I despised her in the Meet the Queens video and that first episode, I'm hoping that she is a little better than she was.
Oh, wow, you're right, Joe. I am wrong. Naomi has the biggest dick and fucked 15 guys in every city. There you go. Mm-hmm. And of course, it was said, so it must be true. I read it on the internet. It must be true.
Absolutely.
Are you pulling for Naisha now, Taylor?
No. No, I just kind of like looking at her. So, but it's looking at her as a boy, though she didn't look bad at the I know I'm jumping around, but at the final challenge, she was good too. But I like little olive skin colored boys. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Men, I like olive skin colored men. And if they happen to be younger, over the age of 18,
but still love legal age. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but I'm still of legal age.
Now, Taylor, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
What did you think? Because I know you predicted it, but what were your thoughts on her return? Or were you disappointed that she returned? Were you hoping for somebody else? What were your thoughts?
I was a little disappointed when I saw that it was her, but I also like the fact that I was the only one again that said it last week. So I was like, ooh, whereas you guys kind of figured out who was the first one when she was going home, and I kind of was left out on that.
We all talked about it afterwards.
Myself. I totally, absolutely, as anyone would. But I feel as though I got some redemption like Naisha did by coming back. But again,
look at you! Yes,
I want to see more. I'm curious, and I want to see more. Like I saw naked pictures of Layla McQueen.
Right. Maybe there's
Naisha.
Yeah, maybe there's naked pictures of Naisha.
Daniel, were you disappointed that she returned?
I wasn't disappointed. It was just kind of like, of the 5,000 possibilities, you of course chose the lamest one. It was kind of like The Matrix 3, right? It's like The Matrix 2 ended on this cliffhanger. It was like, oh, they could go in this really awesome. Well, no, they're just going to do the normal thing. Okay, good.
Well, yeah, and that was one of the things I was telling myself. Remember last year, I brought this up on the podcast before, but last year I was doing this thing where I'm like, oh my God, because I went to the finale last year and they taped 3 different endings.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But the ending for Ginger Minge and the ending for Pearl, RuPaul did not give a shit, was just like, oh, whatever. And then with Violet Chachki, the balloons and everything. So I was like, they're playing this deep psychological game.
And I remember this.
And
I remember this.
And I was like, there's probably Ginger, or something like that. No, it was Violet. It was Violet. I think I give them way more credit, and I think I did it again where I was like, oh no, it can't be Nation. Why would they do that? It's so obvious. It's gonna be penetration or something.
What we should do is what we should do is we should set up a new podcast next year. It's called RuPaul's Drag Race Occam Razor. It's just kind of
exactly.
No one has mentioned penetration since the last time you guys mentioned penetration on the show last season.
So anyway, the point is, Taylor?
Thing is the idea that one of the queens said about bringing back pork chop was actually a pretty cool idea if they had done that, because especially with them going to 100 to bring the first one back would have been a neat.
You know who twist. I was thinking would be cool, but they could never do it because she hates WoW and WoW hates her, is Max. Ooh. I feel Max didn't get to see her whole story played out.
I think Max. I had so much hope for Max last season, but she's a lame person.
Why do Max and WoW hate each other?
Well, Max was very bitter at the edit she got because remember
where she had a complete nervous breakdown on stage. Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, but Max's point was she had the thing with the corset. She asked it to be loosened. They took a little bit of a break, and while they were waiting to get reset up, Ru said, "Oh, hey, I heard you're a singer. Why don't you sing something for us?" And so Max sang the song, and they edited it in to make it look like she just all of a sudden burst into song. And sort of painted her to be like a crazy person. And then she probably really is a crazy person, honestly, to be honest with you. But But the point is, and then so she's kind of madly talked mad shit on WoW. WoW is not, and WoW of course doesn't ask her to be on Battle of the Seasons. They don't ask her to be on this. They don't ask her to be on that. And
can we just establish for those that aren't in the deep game Joe Batant's arena? WoW is the production company that makes the show. It's called World of Wonder is the name of the production company that. So it's not. It's the show is produced by World of Wonder, which is then sold to Logo, which Logo then markets it and airs it.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome.
Let's move on. The day after the elimination, RuPaul entered the workroom to deliver the week's mini challenge.
Now for today's mini challenge, I want you to drag up these basic black robes. Think Judge Judy Couture. We'll take a 30-minute recess, and then the Supreme Court fashion show will be in session.
The girls approached the bench in their best Judge Judy quick drag, but in the end, Naomi Smalls was named the winner of this week's mini challenge. It was just a pretty standard issue quick drag dress, make a hot judge kind of outfit. Was there anything really worth noting in this particular mini challenge, or
that apparently 30 minutes isn't long enough to make a drag queen pretty?
Yeah.
They looked rough.
It was kind of like one of those, I know people were just saying at the bar, they're just like, oh, this is so timely. And like, this was done so far before Scalia died. This is like a luck thing that they happened to do this. It's like this, that they weren't prescient about the fact that we were going to lose the Supreme Court justice and that was going to be a political hot topic now, as replacing the Supreme Court justice or whatever. This was filmed so long before that happened.
But here's what I have to say, though. I will give them credit on something. They've been making a lot of Donald Trump jokes, and when they filmed this, Donald Trump must have just announced he was running for president.
It was end of July.
Yeah, and at that time, he was such a joke. How did they... I mean, they probably did. They just figured, we'll just play on this joke, but...
Wait, when did he stop being a joke?
No, well, I know he hasn't, but come on. In July, I was like, he'll last till October and be done. I never thought it was going to go this far.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought it was a complete throwaway. I hated this challenge. It was just like, this sucks. I mean, this is like, the jokes are lame, which I guess the girls wrote their own jokes. It's just like, it was just...
And see, I thought the jokes were the best part of it, which they weren't very good, don't get me wrong, but that was sort of the one thing that kind of made me laugh a little bit when they came out.
Yeah, I think I was laughing at the fact that they were laughing at how bad the jokes were.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. It's like,
well, that's why I was saying the mini challenge seems kind of lazy.
It was. But then this is a parallel of last season.
Daniel, this is Taylor's favorite episode of all time.
No, it's not.
I didn't say it's my favorite episode of all time. It's my favorite of the season so far. Don't get it twisted.
Well, I don't believe in time, so to me, that's all time.
Joe Batance is a wormhole alien who doesn't experience time in a linear fashion.
Yeah.
He's some kind of hole.
There's Star Trek nerds out there that are going to love that joke. God damn it.
Well, Dax can listen now because she's not on the show anymore. So I don't really have much to say about this mini challenge. It's a pretty standard issue. Naomi Smalls was the winner. As we saw also, that comes up in the Maxi Challenge. Next, RuPaul explained this week's Maxi Challenge.
Now, for this week's Maxi Challenge, you'll be overacting in a pilot for my new TV series, RuCo's Empire. #Drag Empire. Yes. That's right, Ruru Kitty Girls. It's cookie time. Naomi Smalls, you won the mini challenge, so you're a team captain.
And you have a big dick.
Anisha Lopez, as a welcome back gift, you're a team captain too.
Because you have big thighs.
Because you're the beauty.
She didn't say that once, and I appreciated that. Yes. I did appreciate that.
Well, she probably learned her lesson. So let me just make an announcement to the audience. We're going to do things very slightly different. From now on, I'm going to
how can it be very slightly?
Very slightly, kind of, maybe, sort of, definitely, maybe, slightly different.
Are you taking English lessons from Michelle Visage here or something?
No, from Cynthia Lee Fontaine. And we're doing things a little bit differently. So now, instead of following the show linearly, we're going to do more stories. We're going to focus on a story. So
it's kind of like I very slightly lost weight. I've only lost a couple of pounds, but in my mind, I can fit into a pair of 34-inch waist jeans and be totally fine.
Right. I can as long as they're stretchies.
I can as long as I button them around my knees.
Well, as long as they're very, very slightly stretchy.
Yeah, pajama jeans. I wear pajama jeans everywhere I go.
That's also my drag name.
Pajama jeans. Pajama jean.
Okay, so we're going to focus right now on the Team Naisha story. Okay. Team Naisha consisted of Acid Betty, Thorgy Thor, Derek Barry, and Kim Chi, also along with Naisha Lopez. During rehearsal, Acid Betty brought back Bossy, while Kim Chi struggled with the language barrier.
That's right, chocolate chip cookies back.
I did not understand at all what you said.
And this gonna be my chance to win back RuCo's for good.
Why are you talking up here like that?
What you want? Oh, hello, Lucius's doctor. It's Lucius's doctor.
During the rehearsal with RuPaul and guest judge Faith Evans, Kim Chi continued to struggle with the language, but managed to improve.
You all need to chill. The big RuCo white party's coming up.
And cut. Let's try that again.
Listen, ho-ho. Chocolate chip cookie's supposed to be in jail.
That was much better.
Meanwhile, Derek Barry found it difficult to connect with the audience.
The white party is the time for me to tell the whole world it's okay to be gay.
Cut. Derek, I'm losing you in that moment. I know you're not sort of connecting with anyone. Just make sure that you command the room.
Okay. The white party is the time for me to tell the whole world that it's okay. It's okay to be gay.
What the hell is Derek doing? She's lost in an afro. She's not funny. Come on, Brittany. Step it up.
All right, ladies, what did you guys think of Team Naisha? I didn't include the final performance because it's very visual, but what were your thoughts? Taylor?
I think that listening back to it again, I didn't realize that they were having Kim Chi play the cookie part. I didn't get that. And that was the smartest thing they did when they switched the two of them, because that would have been horrible with all of those lines that Thorgy had to say. So there's that. I think we're watching the beginning of the end for Derek Barry. Just from that and towards the end with everything, I just feel like we're starting to watch the decline at this point.
Go ahead, Daniel.
This is such a horrible team. It's like, did she not hear that it was an overacting challenge? It's like, it blew my mind that Bob the Drag Queen was the third person chosen. It's like, it's an overacting challenge. How did you not immediately say Bob the Drag Queen? Like, how did you not immediately grab him and Thorgy Thor? It's just like, both of them were not picked first. It was just like...
Who was chosen first?
I don't remember now, but it was like, I think Derek Barry was chosen first by Naisha. And on Team Naomi, which we haven't talked about yet, I think it was Robbie Turner that was chosen first.
By the way, Naisha not choosing Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
But here's the other thing is just like it's a thing based off of Empire, and she didn't choose a single black person. It's like,
I thought that was weird too.
Yeah,
it's just like, okay, it's just kind of weird for them all to be on one team. That just seemed odd to me.
Well.
Anyway, my point is I did like the fact that they switched Kim Chi and Thorgy Thor. However, the way Naisha did it was, I would like to make an observation. Kim Chi and Thorgy Thor switch. And I was like, girl, that's not an observation.
It's a quasi-observation.
Oh, we miss Layla. Go ahead.
Okay. Team Naomi consisted of Bob the Drag Queen, Chi-Chi DeVane, Robbie Turner, and Cynthia Lee Fontaine. During Team Naomi's workroom rehearsal, Robbie Turner quickly took the role of leader because of his acting experience.
One thing I would say, make it like a, or maybe.
Let's do it again.
Because it got lost.
Yeah. Robbie, she's a trained actress, and she's giving us all these tips.
Like, this whole thing, and then be like, stand back, bitches.
We're definitely going to win this challenge.
But during rehearsal with Ru and Faith, Robbie choked instead of making the directors gag.
That and how to shoplift.
Empty your pockets, please, ma'am.
Fuck line.
Robbie, differentiate those voices so that we know it's two different people.
Do you want it like satanic or something?
Just make them different.
Okay. That and how to shoplift.
Please, sir, empty your Please, ma'am, will you empty your pocketbook?
Ah!
Meanwhile, Cynthia Lee Fontaine had problems connecting with the material.
And that's why they need a strong woman on this company.
Cut. Miss Cynthia Lee, you just left out the word gay when you said this company needs a strong gay woman. Yes, because that's the joke. Okay, let's try that again.
This company need a gay, strong woman.
Wait, cut. The line is a strong gay woman.
I'm a strong gay woman.
I feel we need to add that to the mixing board.
Yes, we do. I was thinking about that. We do need to build ourselves a soundboard for this because we need that initial Chi-Chi DeVane, like, I'm just such a top. That we need that. We need the my cuckoo. We need the
I'm a strong gay woman.
So we need all Cynthia Lee Fontaine. We need a soundboard of just her.
You could do a whole soundboard of just Cynthia Lee Fontaine. All right, so what were our thoughts on Team Naomi?
I think Team Naomi was the better of the two teams. Obviously, it was so weird that they were, at least editing wise, they were the only ones that knew who the judge was. It's just like all the white girls on that team came in and they're like, hi, yes, how are you? And then all the black girls came in and they're like, oh, I know her.
Yeah. Team Nation was like, isn't that one of the girls from 227?
Weren't you our judge last week? But it was just
I thought Faith Hill was white.
But no, I thought they were better. I mean, obviously, all right, I'm gonna say something unpopular. I mean, okay, I kind of thought Bob the Drag Queen went overboard. To me, it was just kind of like, I loved it, but to me, it was just kind of like, it was so ad-libby, so over the top for what they were doing. It was just like, girl, we get it. You're so much better than everyone. You don't have to make them. You don't have to you don't have to shame them.
But even from the rehearsal to the final performance, which once again I didn't pull any clips from because it's very visual. Yeah. From the rehearsal to the final performance, she was doing line reads completely differently, and both of them were really funny.
Yeah, no. If we're nominating for the soundboard, I want the thirsty bitch. I want that on the soundboard too.
Yeah, I thought Bob the Drag Queen just destroyed this challenge. She just dominated. So
I'm not going to argue. I just feel like
the fact that she threw the drink in the other one's face after she was on the ground.
Yeah, that was when he said thirsty bitch, and then dumped the water on her, and then took her shoe.
And only one shoe, by the way. Not both
right.
shoes.
I did notice that only the one shoe.
She just wanted the one shoe.
Yeah. It
was just, I could analyze that comedically for days. It was so good. So on it. And they never really announced a team winner, but I think Team Naomi's was so much better. But what's funny is at the judging table, they acted as if, they never said it, as if Team Naisha was clearly so much better.
I think, all right, so it wasn't like a team versus team competition, right? They were being judged individually here because they both did different scenes. And this is analogous to that, whatever happened to Merle Ginsburg, where they did 3 teams last year and it was each different pieces of the story. So they're all playing the same characters, but in different pieces of the story. So there's not a direct one-to-one, matchup there. And I think really the only two that they were trying to compare there, I think, was was Cynthia and
Derek.
Yeah. Also, a fun fact. This is again comes from Thor G. Thor. I guess the Naisha originally was cast in a different part, and then was cast into the Vanilla Wafer part or whatever, where she had to rap, and she couldn't rap, so all she did was rat-a-tat-tat. That was
that what that was for?
That was her rap, because Chi-Chi did the whole rap thing, right? That character is always supposed to rap. But Naisha didn't know how to rap, so she just said rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit, that they're she was supposed to write her own rap, and she said rat-a-tat-tat, when Chi-Chi actually wrote a whole rap, which was actually pretty solid. Mm-hmm. So, okay, well, any other thoughts on Team Naomi?
No, I like
the better of the two, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Although, let me just say this.
Yes?
I love Thor G. Thor as Chocolate Chip. I mean, it was a different than Bob, but I loved her doing that.
And I will say this, when they realized that they were both playing the same character and there was that the jokingly glaring across each other from across the workroom, it seemed like a friendly competition versus the whole, I'm going to slay that bitch kind of, where it's, I could do it so much better than she can. They seem to have had a mutual respect for each other when they were jokingly flipping the pages while they were looking at one another and all that kind of stuff. That was
Here, I will give you
enjoyable.
more. I will give you more tea from Thor G. Thor. Bob the Drag Queen doesn't drink. And of course, in Untucked, you're only allowed to have one beverage. So Bob the Drag Queen didn't tell the production staff that he didn't drink. He just ordered the same drink that Thor G. Thor had so that she could have it. So that Thor G. Thor could always have 2 drinks during Untucked.
Well, there you go.
Interesting.
Good Guy Bob the drag queen. It's elimination day and the girls are getting ready for their big day. In the workroom, Thorgy shares a personal story with Robbie about Thorgy's mother.
I would love to meet your parents.
My mom passed away when I was 19.
What happened?
She had cancer. I was at college, like, having a blast, and, like, I would always call and be like, how's everything? It was always fine. But it wasn't. I finally got a call from my dad being like, you should probably really come home. When I went home, I mean, she was not a person. She wasn't there. I wish they were just a little bit more honest with me, because when I got home, she died that day.
Oh my God.
She was a skeleton in a hospital bed. So I didn't really get a goodbye. And I kind of feel like that was taken from me. And I'm very angry about it, but I don't know where to put that anger. It comes out of love for my dad. He's
right.
Like, I just don't want to, like, interrupt your life and ruin, like, I want
and
better things for you.
And
I'm like, I get
to
that.
protect me.
But things like that, like, I didn't get to say goodbye to her. She didn't want to make my dad and my sister feel, like, terrible. But how come they didn't, like, tell me to come home?
Wow.
There was a Reddit thread last week that I really liked because it was along the lines of, who else didn't like Thorgy at first and she's grown on you? And I'm totally in that camp. When I first met Thorgy on Meet the Queens, I was like, oh, this one, right? But I'm now a huge Thorgy fan. I'm a really, really, really big fan.
I think, to Taylor's and my credit, we both were on Team Thorgy to start with.
Yes.
Yes. So welcome to our team, Joe Batans.
Yes.
Here's the thing. The Thorgy thing. This clip made me so nervous.
Why?
This is how much of a Thorgy Thor fan I am. Because when they were playing this clip, I'm like, oh my God, is she getting eliminated tonight? Are we like getting backstory on her because she's getting eliminated tonight? I was so nervous that she was going to go home. It was just like, stop it.
I feel, based on what I've seen, Elimination Day mirror talk, which is not a mirror, but this is essentially the role it's playing.
Right.
Usually the people, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't correlate.
Right. Edited out of this was, of course, Acid Betty running over with pictures of his dead mother going, look, my mom died also.
Oh, how'd she die? I killed her. She,
well, according to Untucked, he fucked her and then he killed her because that was the joke on Untucked.
Yeah.
Not about his mother. About when he has sex with people. He looks like he fucks them and then he kills them.
Yeah. And then they referenced some killer that I didn't know who they were talking about. Who was Chi talking about?
That's from Paris is Burning. It's the Dorian. Oh shit, I forget it. Yeah.
Did that person kill somebody?
Yes. Like spousal abuse, like put him in a trunk and stuff. Yes.
Oh, ew. Wow. That's not cute.
I think Thorgy, I'm going to go on record.
Okay, good. We were waiting for you to go on record about this.
I think Thorgy is going to be the Katya of this season. I think Thorgy is going to win Best Congeniality or Miss Congeniality.
I think so, but I'm also want to say Cynthia Lee Fontaine could also be in the running for that because everyone to a person has talked about how nice she is.
It really depends on who is in the top three, because if Thorgy makes it to top three doesn't win Miss Congeniality. So let's say,
I think she's going to go to 4. I think she's going to be the 4th to last, and then she's going to get Miss Congeniality.
So let's say top three is. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was doing a Google search for you. I just want to let you know. Dorian Corey was a famous drag queen. I'm reading this. Is a famous drag queen in the New York ball scene who gained mainstream recognition when she appeared in the documentary Paris is Burning. 3 years after the movie's release, she died of age-related blah, blah, blah. But the point is they went to Corey's apartment to sort through her clothes, and in the back of the closet in a large trunk, they found a mummified body with a gunshot wound to the head.
Oh, my God.
So that's what she was talking about. I'm so sorry that I interrupted your thread. I got like all excited because I was Googling it. I was like, oh, there it is.
Good.
Well, there we go. There we have the update. That was our pop-up video for it. But what were we talking about? What were we talking about, Taylor, before Daniel rudely interrupted?
Thorgy being 4th.
Okay, so let's say top 3 is Bob, Kimchi, and Thorgy. Who's conceivably Miss Congeniality after those 3?
Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
I don't think Cynthia's going to be around. People are going to forget about Cynthia by the end of the season.
It has to be someone who has some length.
Wait, now who votes on Miss Congeniality? Isn't it the contestants that vote on Miss Congeniality?
Yeah, the contestants vote.
Then I think it will be Cynthia because they are so...
Oh, no. Taylor's right. It's the viewers.
Oh, okay. Well, it's the viewers, then it's probably Acid Betty.
All right, very good. On the main stage, Ru rolls up in roller skating realness. Taylor, any thoughts on RuPaul's outfit?
I literally gasped when she came down in roller skates. I wasn't expecting that, even though it was a roller skating challenge. I liked the dress. For some reason, her makeup and hair were on point tonight. I always think RuPaul is a beautiful drag queen, but in particular, there was something about, she looked, and this could be a controversial statement, she looked age appropriate. Where sometimes where they've got her with the big hair, and I she's a drag queen, I get it, but she looked.
Wait, why'd you say that like a 1930s gangster?
She's a drag queen. So
that's a stage. That's a stage. That is the podcast.
We're gonna go to the speakeasy. See,
hold on. Speaking as one of the two white people on this panel here, that's what us white people call a podcast stage whisper. It's like you're doing it out of the corner of your mouth.
You do it out of the corner of your mouth. I mean, get real. She's a dude in a dress. So, but I loved the look, and I love the fact that she kind of scooted down on. Now, for as much as I loved her look, what the fuck was on Michelle Visage's lips?
I know, that was so distracting. But let me just say this about RuPaul's dress. Girl, that was the same dress you wore last week.
No, it wasn't.
It was really damn close.
It was damn close. I will give you that it was damn close. But it was not, because this had like coral and light blue, whereas that one was all dark
my God, only a fag. But it's like, last week's clearly was like chartreuse and salmon, and this one is coral and seafoam.
Call me a fag all you want. I'm a fag who loves RuPaul, and I check out what she's wearing, and I was pleased this week.
All right, well, Taylor, if you would please, and Joe, if you would please open the document Runway Looks inside the shared drive right there. I have music for this. All right, let's take it from the top here. The very first person that came out was Naysha Lopez.
Anything that looks like it's out of Xanadu, I'm all about. So I was very happy.
Joe?
I don't know fashion. To me, that's like, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of... I was happy. Any of them that did something with their skates that wasn't just like, you know, like her and Chi Chi both like put socks over their skate. You know what I'm saying? Like added it over the heels of the skate. So I give her points for that. So at the risk of saying, yeah, I would give it a toot. All right, next up is Thorgy Thor.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's give it toots or boots.
All right,
yeah, because then I don't have to be specific.
All right, Taylor.
I'll give that a toot.
Taylor?
I'll give it a toot.
All right, I'll give it a toot. Thorgy Thor is next up. Taylor?
Boot. Only because...
Oh, really?
Well, the concept was great. The construction of it, and we're going to get to somebody else wearing shorts later on, was just not... I get that she was very Chrissy Three's Company, but she looked like she was way too boxy in this.
All right. Joe?
I give it a toot.
Wow, a toot. You know what? I'm on the fence here. I'm going to go with Taylor and give it a boot only because the shorts are baggy. Had those shorts been a little bit more form-fitting there. I love the fact that she was holding up big headphones and Michelle thought it was a phone. So it's like, because in her little comment there. Next up, Derek Barry. Taylor.
If Katy Perry fucked the swan dress that Bjorn wore back at the Oscars many years ago. Bjork. That would, God damn it! I was trying to. What would Joe Batance do? Is try to write a joke and it fucked it out. I still have a lot to learn.
No,
boot.
Oh, really? Toot. I loved it.
I'm gonna go with a boot. Sorry. Next up, Kim Chi. Taylor.
Toot. I loved the concept of it being the parrot, and I loved the wig, especially in Untucked when you could see the back of it and it was all the different colors. It was very toot.
Joe?
Toot.
I'm going to give it a toot with the caveat that I really want to meet Raul because he sounds hot.
Yes, Raul does sound hot. Somewhere on Reddit, there's a picture of Raul, and we need to find it.
Acid Betty.
Toot. Motherfucking toot. This is so Tina Turner, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, as much as I don't like Acid Betty. Babalu and I both went, ooh, when she came out, just because it was such a visual... Fucked you. So it was awesome.
It was, yeah. Joe.
Boot.
Really?
I don't like it.
All right. I don't like it. I give it a
That's
toot.
the extent of my fashion stuff.
Really? I give it a toot. That's love her or hate her. That took a lot of that's a well put together theme there.
Yeah.
Naomi Smalls.
Boot. Boring.
Joe, your girlfriend?
Toot.
Here Victoria, I'm going to give her a honk only because look at those clown feet. Dear God, what is that? Like a size 18. Look at how big those
Daniel, but no
skates
cliffhangers.
No cliffhangers. Thank God for that.
Okay, if she had cliffhangers hanging out the front of leather roller skates, she needs to be on some other show.
I'm on the fence here. I like this outfit, but at the same time, it is not Roller Girl, so I'm going to go with boot. This is not themed. Thank you very much. Bob the Drag Queen, Taylor.
Boot.
Really?
As much as I like the concept of it, because it was very 1980s sci-fi robot woman type thing, there was something about the execution of it that I didn't like. Now, that being said, the comedy of trying to stay up was fun to watch, but the outfit itself was kind of like what Michelle said. Like, she came out basic, but you're just like, I just love it because it's her.
Right.
So, but the outfit itself, boot.
Joe.
Boot.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a boot too. This is like when you were a kid and your mom took you to like the Walgreens to get your Halloween costume, and you got like the pre-made one with the plastic. It's just like that.
Yeah.
That really kind of chintzy little outfit that you wear that had Superman printed on it or whatever. Cynthia Lee Fontaine, Taylor.
You mean Barbara Mandrell? I give it a boot. Primarily because one thing with the horrible, and I even said she looks like a man from the waist down with the shorts.
She does.
And then the red, I mean, right here you can tell it's red fishnets, but on my TV it looked like she had hairy legs.
It did. It confused it more because during her lip sync for the life, she had taken off the red things when she put on her heels, so she didn't have red legs during that. Anyway, Joe Batance, toot or boot?
Boot.
I would boot it, but I'm scared I would lose my boot up there somewhere. It's like, she called this look sporty. She tried to justify this in Untucked. She called it sporty. And so my question to you, Joe Batance, the only Latino here on the panel, is sporty Spanish for really ugly? Is that is that a Spanish word for fucking ugly? Sporty? That's a that joke did no better. It did no better.
I was such a Daniel ran that joke by me on the phone today.
I didn't.
And I go, he goes, what do you think about that? I go, try it out on the show.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Try it. Try it, Daniel.
I don't have to. I have the volume down because I can't play the shade button. All right, Chi-Chi DeVayne, Taylor.
Toot. I liked this. I love neon colors like that. And Chi-Chi, I'm getting on the team Chi-Chi as far as cute boy thing.
Thank you.
So that being said, she did kind of look like a man in that. She was kind of buff in this, but even still, it was fun to see.
I know a lot of black girls that are buff like that, though. Anyway, Joe Batance.
Oh, no, so do I.
Yeah.
Boot.
Here's the thing. I love Chi-Chi DeVayne. I really do love Chi-Chi DeVayne, but I'm sorry, honey. This is a boot there. And by the way, you're going to Chi-Chi DeVayne's territory coming up this week, Taylor. You're going to Louisiana.
And we realized at one point when she was talking in one of the interviews, we looked at each other, Babalu and I looked at each other and went, Gambit.
Yeah.
That's like listening to Gambit, who is my other co-host, soon to be husband.
Right.
He's from Louisiana.
Yeah, you're going there for a wedding of your co-host. Yeah, Chi-Chi DeVayne might be at the wedding. You don't know. Final one here, Robbie Turner, Taylor.
I love this. I love the hair was horrible, but I get what she was trying to do. The outfit itself, absolute toot.
Joe.
Toot.
Again, I'm on the fence here. I'll give her a toot. That's what it is. Anyway, there you go. Those are the looks for the runway.
$100,000, baby.
Excellent.
After their runway walks, the queens and the judges watch their performances from the Drag Empire parody. Tell me, fellas, what were your thoughts on the parodies? Was there one that you liked better than others? I know we talked about this a little bit already, but were there any that stood out? Any comments you want to make?
The second one was definitely the better of the two. I thought, as much as I like Thorgy, the everybody else kind of seemed to stand out a little bit more. And the whole ad-libbing thing with Bob the Drag Queen was that we were both really laughing really hard. Not so much at the scripted parts, but the parts when he would make other statements. And again, poor thirsty bitch. That was very funny.
Yeah, I liked Bob the Drag Queens. I liked Thorgy Thor a lot. I thought Naomi was horrible, but they praised her for doing well. So I don't know if the character that she was doing is supposed to be that kind of ditzy or whatever. But
now, I don't watch Empire. Taylor, you seem like someone who would watch Empire. The woman judge, was she one of the characters?
Yes, she.
So for people listening at home, Taylor made a face at me like, "Oh, why would you think why do you think I live?" And immediately knows the answer. Yes, Taylor.
Yes, I only watched. Thank you. I only watched the first season of Empire.
Okay.
The second season was ridiculous.
Is that because you're a strong gay woman?
But she played Cookie's sister on the show.
Who played her on the show?
Her, the judge.
She wasn't any of the characters that were.
Oh, that was my question. Was she any of the characters that were?
She's kind of a peripheral character on the show, or at least she was. Like I said, I stopped watching it 3 or 4 episodes into this season because it went from being the show was definitely had and this is going to sound ridiculous when I say it, but there was almost a Shakespearean parallel to the first. As much as it was a ridiculous soap opera, and then the second season, it turned into a soap opera, and then it wasn't as much fun anymore.
Daniel, let me tell you something. When he said this is going to sound ridiculous, I was prepped, and so I was like, it's not going to be that ridiculous. And then he said there were Shakespearean parallels.
No, I didn't say it was. I guess I did say that. I mean, just in that it was very much a king that had 3 princes and was trying to figure out which of the princes. You know what? Fuck you. I know what I meant, and I stand behind it. I don't have to explain myself to you.
It's kind of like Lion
Please,
King.
shade button, please.
Oh,
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Kind of like in the same way that Lion King is basically Hamlet. Go ahead.
This reminds me of that Chekhov play, The Cherry Orchard. I don't know. I just pulled out high school plays that I'd seen. Okay. During the judges' critiques, Acid Betty, Thorgy Thor, and Bob the Drag Queen felt the love, while Robbie Turner and Cynthia Lee Fontaine were skating on thin ice. First up, Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Next up, Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Cynthia, you have a great body with a shirt that's like a formal, with a formal necklace and formal earrings. Then you have like Hooters shorts that don't fit at all. It's so discombobulated.
The Empire scene, I don't know what you were saying, but I didn't care.
There were some nuances that were missed. What did you think watching yourself in the scene?
I love it. It was really good. It was really good.
Thank you very much. Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Bless her cotton socks with that runway outfit.
Oh.
They were fruit of the loom.
I just felt like she didn't commit to the role that she had, as sweet as she is. But what sweet got to do with it?
All right,
Okay.
Ike Turner. Yes.
You know what's so funny? I just noticed this right now when we were listening to this this is the first time I think I've ever heard Michelle Visage's real laugh.
Yes.
Instead of that fake Phyllis Diller one she does where she goes, you know, like whenever a guest judge makes a joke.
See, and I thought this laugh was very fake.
Really?
Oh, really?
It just came off
no.
as very okay, it wasn't that funny.
It was.
No, it was.
It was because I don't think she understood what they were asking.
Yeah, that laugh because there wouldn't be a need for a fake laugh because she wasn't making a joke. They just read her for her performance, and she goes, "I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was great. I loved it."
Yeah. And was so genuine about it. And so I think she just howled because it was so in contrast to what they said. Yeah.
Is it Turner or Turner?
Oh, it's a RuPaul. All right, it's a RuPaul / Joe Batance thing. It's Robbie Turner, but apparently, because Joe Batance has got to be Mr. hip black drag queen. Now he's got to call her Robbie Turner.
Well, because I've always thought it was funny, even before the show, that on the podcast, if you listen to RuPaul's podcast, for some reason, whenever she'll bring up Tina Turner, she'll call her Tita Turner. Wow. And so on the show, actually, if you listen, she calls Robbie Turner.
Wow.
The only time she didn't this episode, because it was serious, was when she was told to Shantae, you stay. But every other time in the episode, she called Robbie Turner.
It was
and so, so she calls Tina Turner Tinta Turner. So I knew that was going to come up because I listened to the podcast. Okay, next up, Robbie Turner.
All right, next, Robbie Turner.
I do love the
See?
jumpsuit, but what's bothering me is all the silver accoutrements and then a gold necklace.
Thorgy Thor loaned her that necklace.
When we were working on that scene, Ru was directing you to kind of get into the 2 different voices. I don't think you stuck with that.
It was kind of like I didn't have a moment to break and think of your notes before we moved on to another note. And also remember where the blocking for the camera was, because I can't see very far. When we originally read it, I was Vanilla Wafer, and it did change it.
Did that hurt you think?
I think it did hurt me, and I didn't speak up even though I was feeling it. And so for the betterment of the team, I was like...
You can't allow yourself to be a victim and use the excuse of I was being nice. It's a competition.
Robbie turned tough.
You had given a lot of direction, but Robbie did not really get it. But I love that jumpsuit. I would wear the hell out of that jumpsuit. I love it.
You know, I have to say this because I'm forced to by law, but I want to get your guys' feelings on the judges this week, both Faith and the other one, that unlike most guest judges, it was almost like they were real judges that they had been there for a long time. They were not holding back.
Yeah, listening to that back again, I thought, well, that got awfully aggressive, awfully quick. that was, for you to be like a fourth tier character on a show that's dropping in the ratings on Fox, that's awfully...
You don't understand. I'm on the highest rated show on Logo. I'm on RuPaul's Drag Race, honey. I can say...
Yes.
No. I can...
So, all right. For the lip sync, the girls were forced to choose between heels and wheels, with Cynthia choosing heels while Robbie chose wheels. From the beginning, it was clear Robbie was more Xanadu, while Cynthia was more Xanadon't. But as always, the final decision was up to RuPaul.
Ladies, I've made my decision. Robbie Turner. Shantae, you stay.
Thank you.
Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Puerto Rico. Austin. Santee Alley.
Always a triplet.
And now the world. Keep spreading your cuckoo. Now, sashay away.
I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you soon, mis amores.
Daniel, when was the last time you spread your cuckoo?
Just last night. I guess what you could say here is that Robbie turned her around on his...
Oh, God!
Yeah, I think...
You've been working on that for the last 10 minutes, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I just now. I was dying.
I saw him scribbling furiously.
Whatever. No, here's the thing. I agree with that. Yeah, I thought that Robbie did it. It was so funny because the voiceover was Cynthia Lee saying, "I'm the star. Everyone's looking at me," and I was just watching Robbie like skating back and forth. It was just like I wasn't even watching Cynthia while she was saying that everyone's watching her. He's like, Robbie can really skate, and that was...
Well, going back to this has been on Reddit, and which I guess it's kind of known Robbie can skate, and so they were thinking Robbie was almost artificially put in the bottom two so that this would happen.
No, her acting was really shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know what? I didn't talk about this. How could she not do two different voices? Of course, she could do two different voices. What the hell's the matter with you? She just was just doing it for the show. I know, but in my head,
Joey Boohecker here?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a podcast. If you like to listen to the show but not watch it and hear people talk over it, then please download.
No one will know what you said because I'm editing.
Shade button.
Exactly right.
Taylor's face when I said that, man, it was... Oh, that's gonna be the best part when Joey hears it cut out and doesn't know what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back in the workroom, Cynthia Lee Fontaine had some parting words.
I feel sad, but at the same time, I don't have any regrets. I would like to encourage everybody, don't stop believing, even if you are the only one that believes in yourself. Damas y caballeros, this is Cynthia Lee Fontaine, hashtag mis amores cuckoo.
Here's a piece of advice. If you want to have a successful hashtag, maybe get something easier to spell, because people spell cuckoo so many different ways. The way she spells it is C-U-C-U, and I keep seeing it on Reddit.
Which is the one way that I've never seen that spelled before.
On Reddit, I keep seeing it as C-O-O-C-O-O, right, cuckoo, and then there's also the regular K-U-K-U. Yeah, it's a very confusing hashtag. Ladies, get your hashtags in order. Step it up on your hashtags.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, any final thoughts on the episode? Okay, moving on.
I was trying to... No, I was giving the shrug to Taylor. I was like, go ahead, Taylor.
Yeah, but here's the deal. What's funny is now when you do the silence remover, it's just going to be me a total
I know.
dick.
It is. It's going to be you being
right. Taylor, any thoughts?
I enjoyed the episode.
Well, it's his number one episode of all time, is what he says.
Oh, I know. This is
my
like
number one episode. Jesus. No, I am feeling more. I look forward to this, watching the show on Tuesdays more with each passing week.
There you go.
Aww.
Because of us.
And then I get to hang out with you guys too.
Aww. And all of our wonderful fans.
Aww.
All three of them.
Aww. Anyway, no.
Now there's two because you said that.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was a good episode. I was, started off with the, of course this is not going to be anything interesting. It's just going to be Naisha coming back. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed most of it. That's my final discussion. So, are we going to talk about the Untucked thing that you've got?
Yeah. So we don't usually pull from Untucked, but there was a very interesting development on Untucked. On Untucked, Kimchi received a surprise video message from Trixie Mattel, but Acid Betty decided to chime in and give her 2 cents on Kimchi's best friend.
Oh shit! Wrong folder.
Look at that ugly makeup. Let's be honest. She is ugly.
And I never really met drag queens that I got along with.
Well, because you
before.
That nose contour is atrocious. Will you fix her makeup when you go home?
No, her makeup was perfect.
Really?
You got her first drag gig in Chicago?
I did. Yeah.
So it's your fault.
She's okay. Betty's gone on and on about how she doesn't like Trixie's makeup. I've heard this before.
I don't get it.
But
even just when I looked at it, it's like a mustache.
She's a Ru girl.
It's cool.
I just would hate for you to be on the screen next year and someone be like,
I will
God,
be.
Acid Betty is disgusting.
That's what I
if
get.
If you want that, if you want that, but
she's so sensitive.
No.
She's kind of right. Like
you've done it quite a few times on Trixie.
I just don't get the makeup.
I know, but it's not for you to get. It's what she does.
I never thought. I would never mark your calendars. I never thought I'd say these words because you're a freak too, and Trixie's freak of nature. Derek is right.
So, I hate this clip because it makes me like Derek.
Okay, I get that.
And also, I'm going to add to it. I went on Reddit before we recorded. Did you see, if you look at the trailer for next week, which is clearly the next day, it's during the mini challenge, Derek is wearing a Trixie Mattel t-shirt.
Oh, I did notice today on Twitter that Trixie Mattel launched a new t-shirt design that she's selling to help buy Acid Betty a bigger cage. That was on Twitter today. But here's the thing I want to say about this is that I'm going to now. All right, I agree with both of you about this. Like the Acid Betty was being a dick, whatever. But from this point forward, I'm going to play devil's advocate and defend Acid Betty. I don't actually believe this, but I do see that there is a defense of it if she wanted to really make that defense, which is we all hated Untucked in the seasons past when they would roll out these fucking video monitors and do like this manufactured drama, like, oh, I'm going to surprise you with your mother that you're estranged from, or your cousin that hates you, or whatever. All this like manufactured drama that they used to make them go into a different fucking room and sit there and watch it, and they couldn't leave. Right? It's like, we're going to make you cry. God damn it, we're going to make some drama here. And for the last season and this season, Untucked has been a much more unscripted, much more just like kind of reality kind of a thing. So I think there is a case to be made that Acid Betty was just rebelling against the manufactured drama. It's just like going, look, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why we're just trying to make Kimchi cry for the camera? This is stupid.
Yeah,
I disagree with that only in that there are other ways to do that and not necessarily attack the person on the screen. Imagine, and I get that, there's rules between drag queens and that kind of stuff. Imagine if that had been like, I almost said Thorgy's mother, but that would have been a really big surprise for everybody. But I mean, if that had been like a family member or something, and
yeah,
I just think that Acid Betty is figuring that she is going to play the gristly bitch, and this is her way of getting screen time. I really do think that this is just she doesn't give a shit if people like her or not.
Right.
So at this point, why not just say what's on your mind, because you're guaranteed to have a camera swung at you versus other people that may just be kind of sitting there watching. What Joe just said about Derek Barry, I don't necessarily like or dislike Derek Barry, but I thought that this showed something that we don't often see on the show, and that's maturity. Like there was a protectiveness in the look on her face when she was standing next to Kimchi that I appreciated.
I thought, Yeah, but I think Derek Barry was also just kind of playing for the cameras there because Kim Chi clearly didn't even hear what Acid Betty said. Kim Chi was so wrapped up in listening to Trixie because she's like, oh, her makeup's perfect. You know, it's like she was just like in a different world. She was, you know, her friend Trixie is on the monitor. She's
really?
trying not to crack.
I took it as a very smart tactic that she wasn't going to play into the game. That she was almost going to pretend like it didn't exist, kind of thing.
Well, might be, but I'm just saying. I think it all happens so fast, and it's like you're overwhelmed with emotion, right? Here's your friend, you know, like up on the screen, and you know you're on. It now hits you in the face again. Oh, that's right. I'm on this show. I'm on this show that I've wanted to be on forever. And it's like I'm here. I'm doing this, and here's my my friend Trixie. That's.
Can I ask a question?
No. Okay, great. Let's leave. No.
Okay, and I know that I am stepping on sacred ground here because I know that Daniel, you are a big Trixie Mattel fan.
Here it comes.
Is the makeup getting more extreme since she left the show? Like where she almost looks like she's taken one of those I ran into Tammy Faye at the mall t-shirts from the 80s and cut it out and is wearing it on her face, because it's gone beyond, to me, with the weird harsh contour lines and all that kind of stuff. She's gone beyond drag at this point to an actual clown.
She has, but here's the thing that you have to realize. When they're on RuPaul's Drag Race, they sometimes just tone it down a little bit because it's cameras is right in your face, right? When they're doing a show in the drag, when they do their normal drag shows, they're painting for the back row. So they tend to paint more extreme for live shows than what.
But it seems like in like photo shoots and stuff that I've seen of her, like on Tumblr and stuff, when you're scrolling through, a couple times I've gone like, oh God, where it's jarring.
It is, but I think that's her thing.
So extreme,
right? That's her shtick, right?
And I get that they kind of went through that phase with Bianca, where Bianca wears like mascara and eyelashes on top of eyelashes, but Bianca, when she does it, still has that drag queen, style to her. I don't know, Trixie. It's one of these that whenever I see Trixie, I kind of like make a face now,
right?
And that I always think that you would be mad at me for making a face.
No, so I will say this. I have the hots for Trixie as a boy. That's my entire obsession with Trixie Mattel is Trixie as a boy. It's like Trixie is a drag queen. Yeah, it's a bit, it's ugly, but it's supposed to be ugly. And I'm okay with that. But I love her personality and I love her as a boy.
Okay.
I've never gotten Trixie Mattel. I respect her as a drag queen. People really, really like her. I personally don't get it. I wouldn't have attacked her, though. I mean, I don't think she's worthy of attack. It's just she does her, kind of like what they were saying. She does her thing. There are people who like it. They're big. I mean, she has a huge fan base. So I'm clearly
by the way,
kind of in the minority here.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, Acid Betty is talking about Trixie. Acid Betty, who had like a silver piece of like a little thing over her eye and had her gray makeup with like a mohawk with spikes sticking in it, is talking about Trixie's makeup being weird. It's like, girl.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that she said it was weird. I think she was kind of alluding that it was poorly done.
Yeah. But I mean, it was
like
done
the
on
nose,
purpose.
the contouring of the nose and all.
But that's what she wants. That's her whole thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Now, Daniel, so for those of you listening now, we've added another show. If you subscribe to the show, you're getting another show now later in the week where we read emails, and we encourage you, please write us emails, send tweets, send us messages, and we will read all of that and address all of those emails and messages and tweets on our show that we record on Thursdays, correct?
The extra lap. Taylor won't be here this week because he will be at the aforementioned wedding with
the wedding's this week.
With Chichi. Well, he'll be leaving. Yeah, he's leaving to go to Chichi DeVane's territory. So it's going to be you and me, Joe, doing the email this week. But
okay.
Yeah. But no, we make sure you send us an email. rdrr@pride48.com is the email address. Our Twitter account is @DragRaceRecap. Also, our Facebook page is facebook.com/Drag Race Recap. We will handle
which
all
I
of
can
that.
tease. Someone's already sent us a direct message on Twitter.
Ooh.
So we'll have that to read.
Excellent. Yeah, we have a lot of actually, and I'm going to spoil something here because I want no, I'm going to do it after the show. We're going to talk about it on the Thursday show, but Taylor, since you're going to be gone, I know you're going to love this thing. Somebody has done an infographic of the episodes, and someone sent us an email about that, and you're going to love it. So.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Reddit. So let's wrap up this episode then. That concludes this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. I want to thank my co-hosts Daniel Brewer and Taylor the Latte Boy. Follow us on Twitter at Drag Race Recap. Let's do that again. Follow us on Twitter at Drag Race Recap. Friend us on Facebook at facebook.com/drag race recap, and make sure to visit our website at pride48.com/RDRR, where you can find all of our contact information, leave us a comment, and find all of our old episodes. So, until next week, for Daniel Brewer, Taylor the Latte Boy, and me, Joe Batance.
Sashay away. Until next week.